So welcome to third episode. Today we'll be learning about signal processing and analyzing signal and identification of them. I've taken three signals of 1 hour each. That is my fan signal, train signal, and a human speech signal. What I'm doing is I'm taking the first 30 minutes of my signal and I'm using it to plot and create a pre-recorded same sample data. So this is my first signal fan. I'm audio reading it. I'm taking its four statistical measurements. That is my skewness, kurtosis, standard deviation, and variation. And what I'm doing is I'm plotting these values on these four figure windows. Next, I'm going to my train audio signal. I'm taking its four statistical measurements again and plotting it on the same figure windows that I've used for fan. Similarly, I'm doing it for my speech signal. Now we come to the testing part. I have used the first 30 minutes of my signal to create a range for each signal, for each statistical measurement as well. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking the next 30 minutes of my signal and I'm taking one element at a time and I'm checking it with my pre-recorded sample. So let's go to this first loop. What this is doing is it is taking out one sample and measuring its skewness, kurtosis, standard deviation, and variance. Then it's checking whether it lies between the pre-recorded data of skewness for fan or train or for speech. So if it lies in the range of fan, then my fan skewness becomes +1, which initially is 0. If it lies in train, then my train skewness range becomes +1, which was initially 0. And so on and so forth. We go for all other statistical data for my fan input signal. Similarly, I'm doing it for my train input signal and my human speech input signal, as you can see over here. So after I've gotten all these values, I'll be plotting four matrices. That is a matrix for kurtosis, a matrix for skewness, a matrix for standard deviation, and a matrix for variance. So if I go over here, I just printed these values to check where my code is exactly at the point. Sorry. Okay. So if we go over here, you can see MK is a matrix for the kurtosis. My first column says fan signal input, and that means the input I've given for testing is fan signal. My first row tells me that how many elements of my 1800 samples do lie in the pre-recorded range of the kurtosis of fan. 697 is the number of my fan input signals that lie in the range of train. Second row is train. Similarly, the third row is speech. Similarly, my second column is train. What this means is when I give an input of train signal, how many elements of its 1800 sample lies between the range of kurtosis for fan. That is 304 over here. 1733 of my 1800 elements for train input signal lie in the kurtosis range of train, which is a nice accuracy. And similarly for MS, that is my skewness matrix, and MM is my standard deviations matrix, and I've done a similar one for my variance matrix. So as you can see, the diagonal elements over here give us the maximum accuracy of our testing of our process. So now we go to our GUI. So this is the GUI I've created, the app I've created. It lets you select one of the three signals, that is fan, train, and speech, and in return it plots the variance, standard deviation, kurtosis, and skewness. It also gives you a matrix that is like a cleared form of the confusion matrix. It tells me that if I take my train signal, let's suppose, so the skewness of my input signal, how much percentage of it, not exactly percentage, out of 1, how much part of it lies in the range of fan, how much part of it lies in the range of train, and how much part of it lies in the train of speech. Similarly for my other statistical data, that is kurtosis, standard deviation, and variance. So let's suppose I take fan signal, I choose fan signal and I play it. So this is the audio that I had recorded for my fan signal. As you can see that the table over here has changed, and so has the plots over here. So you can see that multiple things are becoming one at once. That is because when I plot these graphs in When I plotted these graphs, I realized that there's a superset subset relation between these values. What I mean is, like, the variance of my fan signal is becoming a subset of the variance of my train signal or my speech signal. So since I'm using if end instead of else if and end, it is reading even the other ranges that it falls into. This is my first figure. This shows you the skewness. As you can see, like, the skewness of all three signals is kind of overlapping. The blue color is my fan signal, the orange color is my train signal, and the green or yellow color is my speed signal. This is my kurtosis. This is my mean, which is pretty scattered, which is a good thing. So it's, what I can say is I can rely more on the measurements, like the accuracy given by my standard deviation. And this is my variance. Going back to the GUI, if I select speech, so this is my speech signal, these are the values, and these are the plots. Wait for it.
Hi, thank you for taking my C# Basics course. Let me quickly give you an overview.
And similarly, this is my train signal once again. Once again, that you should see that my maximum accuracy or my proper exact accuracy that my code tells me is given in the second row, since I've chosen the train signal, which is giving the skewness of 99.83%. And the kurtosis is telling me that this input signal is trained by 96.2%. And the standard deviation is telling me that this is train signal by 95.16%. And my variance is telling me that this is train signal by 95.16%. So, thank you.